The staggered stance single arm landmine press is hands down my favorite upper body pressing exercise with the landmine because of everything that it offers. Core, full body, but it's key that we get set up in the right way. And the first two things I want to talk about are going to be foot position as you get set up inside the exercise, and also where we're holding the landmine. So first, as we pick up the landmine, make sure we pick it up, good position of the body. And this will apply to pretty much any single arm landmine press that you guys find, especially inside of our book. And it has to do with where I'm holding the landmine. I suggest having thumb right off the back side of the landmine. And we want to make sure that in our starting position, the elbow is kind of on the rib cage. This is going to help as we get into our exercise, because if we have that in front of us, it's going to put the bar in a weird position. So elbow is really right outside the rib cage. And the other key here too is our forearm is almost at like a perfect 90-degree angle with the bar. This is just gonna make sure that we're not putting any weird undue stress on the shoulder, and as we push up, all that force goes right into the landmine. The other key here is gonna be our setup. So you can see on this one, rather than having that back heel down, I prefer to have that back heel up. It makes it feel a little bit more athletic, and honestly forces us to build some strength in the ankle and in the calves. Because the cool part is, as I complete this exercise, I'm really generating force all the way from my toes, all the way up overhead. And that's how it really becomes this full body pressing exercise. Okay, so as we do that, we've got our setup with the hands, we've got our setup with the feet, core is nice and engaged. We've got two options in how we perform this exercise. First is gonna be kind of like an incline press, where I'm gonna keep my body in the same position, nice and tense. Exhale, press overhead, bringing it right back down. So as I do this, you can see I'm really not moving my torso. I'm maintaining that position. All right, that's a great exercise. We can also make this a little bit more like a real overhead press, where we push our body into it as we go. So instead of staying upright, I'm gonna drive my head through. So if you're really looking for an alternative overhead press exercise, then leaning that body forward is gonna give you much more of that overhead press feel. All right, one of the things for you guys to think about with your setup though, is just make sure when you do set the feet up, make sure we're not on a balance beam, it's hip width, and it's more like you're on these railroad tracks. That's gonna make sure that our hips are set up in the right position. We've got both toes forward as we press the landmine overhead.